Hey everybody, I hope everyone had a great vacation, ready for the next week, which actually, by the way, is going to be a 2 week setup of tasks here. Um, you'll notice that this work probably could be done in a week and a half, but because we've added a few additional things like Kahoots and Jognogs, we are extending it for the full 2 weeks. But this will be week 2 and 3 of the remote learning experience, and we're going to continue in our ecology evolution unit with dichotomous keys and work off of that major topic, carrying us through with a couple of different things. So you're going to notice right off the bat, you guys, that you do have a weekly pacing guide like you saw before, except now this pacing guide will be covering 2 weeks worth of material. You're also going to notice that there are do now instructions for each day, being Monday, April 27th will be the day one. And once you get through this and you kind of get a sense of what you're doing, when you do things and how you do things is totally up to you. But you're probably going to find that maybe there's a benefit to doing all the bell ringers at once and maybe doing the station labs all at once. But just like in the last unit, things are arranged so that you can go and resubmit multiple times. So just kind of keep that in mind. So anyhow, you have a pacing guide here for number one. You have all your instructions for days 1 through 10. And then you're going to notice you have an engagement activity. Now, ironically, the engagement activity, this number 12, that was going to be your first assignment that you're going to do for day one. So you definitely want to make sure you find that at the bottom of the list here. Please note, for day one, you're not asked to actually do any bell ringers because the engagement activity is going to take you through a little bit more than just probably the standard 20 minutes engaging activity. So that's why the bell ringers are pushed off to the second day and then spaced out throughout the 2 weeks. So bell ringers and Google Forms can be found on this same tab. You've got your bell ringer down here and your Google Forms right there. So just keep that in mind. Also, assignment number 14 here, this is your station labs, which has not only the station labs descriptions and questions, but the Google form is also here at the very bottom. And you're going to notice that both the bell ringer and the station labs, those Google Forms have been updated to include the questions and most of the information. So you probably are not going to need to bounce between, but just kind of keep that in mind. We tried to make it a little bit easier for you. Then you'll notice assignment 15 is a practice. You've got student notes and a PowerPoint. You're probably going to notice right off the bat there is no choice where you have to make between a project and notes. The final project is actually an extension of the engagement activity. I'll explain that at the bottom there. But you've got your student notes and PowerPoint, so there'll be a Google Doc that's been assigned to every single one of you, at which point the PowerPoint right next to you, right there. So just kind of work off the PowerPoint and answer the questions as you go. And continuing on here, you're going to notice there's Jognog. We've gone and selected 2 quizzes, which will be uploaded or selected to your Jognog account, probably starting at the close or midday on Monday. So when you go to Jognog, don't be surprised if you don't see anything changed. This is, excuse me, this is all in preparation for the next 2 weeks. Assignment 18, go outside and tree identification. So that task, that assignment there has a couple of supporting files, if you will. You've got a Google Doc that you're going to try and fill in. There's a YouTube video that's going to help you with all the major trees here in the Northeast. There's a way for you to figure out the age of a tree that does use the circumference, and so there's going to be an opportunity for you to do some measuring. Please remember that if you can't go and find a measuring device in your house, like a meter tape or a ruler or anything like that, please remember that a sheet of paper usually is 8.5 by 11, which is pretty darn close to a foot. So maybe you could use the side of a paper and use that going around the tree to figure out the circumference of the tree. Anyhow, just kind of keep that in mind. There's also a dichotomous key for identifying trees right over here. Now, that takes care of assignment number 18. You're going to notice number 19 does have a Kahoot, which you'll see that'll be updated as we get closer to the date for the Kahoot. But I believe the Kahoot is going to be on Thursday of the last week. And then number 20 is a final project of reflection and revision, where you're going to go back to your engagement activity that you're going to create, that you're going to share with both teacher and a peer, a classmate. And if we have a tough time, doing the sharing part, I'm going to put a list, or you should remember who's in your class. So You can always just go ahead and share it with people, but maybe I'll go and create a list so that people can go and randomly be assigned a sharing task with that. So the final project has both reflection and revision, and then you're going to resubmit your updated dichotomous key and talk about whether or not you were able to make any changes and why you chose to make those changes. So that is going to be basically the rundown for weeks 2 and 3. That's this week and next week. And just remember, I'm going to be available 12:30 to 1:30 for office hours. And I will also be posting Zoom meeting matches at that time. So hope everyone's doing okay. Shoot me an email if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing those who wish to join Monday, tomorrow, 12:30 to 1:30 on Zoom. All right, take care, folks.